voice actors is Crispin Freeman. He voices a lot of badass characters such as Alucard from Hellsing and Zelgoddess from Slayers. Watching interviews about him and his career through some DVD special features, one of the shows he mentions early on in his career is Irresponsible Captain Tylor. I didn't pay much attention to it at the time, but later on when a friend of mine had the series, I said, what the hell, I heard Crispin Freeman voice the lead role, so I gave it a chance. A few episodes later, this anime was on my target sites to obtain. So, back in May, when I was at the dealer's room for Louisiana, I was originally looking for Nadesico first, but the seller said he didn't have it. However, he did have Captain Tylor on DVD, so I decided to grab that instead. Minutes later, it turns out that he did have Nadesico on DVD all along, he just didn't remember where he put it, and I got that too. Anyways, on with the review. Irresponsible Captain Tylor is a 1993 sci-fi comedy adventure military space opera based off of a series of light novels. 20-year-old Justy Iwiki Tylor joins the United Planet Space Force in hopes of an easygoing life. However, he joins right at the start of a war between the UPSF and the Holy Railgun Empire. One dumb luck situation led to another, and Tylor is now the captain of the destroyer Soyokaze, a low-grade space destroyer that holds a dumping ground of ragtag crew members. Does Tylor have what it takes to command his ship? Is he also a secret genius or the luckiest idiot in space? The show, in terms of quality, is what I wish more modern anime was like again. Captain Tylor has adventure, it has fun, it's mostly a comedy, but it contains some serious dramatic elements later in the show to where you care about the characters so much that it still works. Space adventures kick ass, I just have to say it, they really do. As for Captain Tylor himself, during the first few episodes, I did think that everything he accomplished was out of pure dumb luck, and I didn't really see the genius part of him. I mean, he even gave back a rifle to a spy that was holding him and a few other characters hostage at one point. Jesus. However, as the series progressed, he started showing a little more intellect to where he does provide that ambiguity between secret genius or just a lucky man. I mean, in all the space battles Captain Tylor has been in, he usually wins not by physically retaliating with his ship, but rather putting the Railgun in a very bizarre situation that will cause them to screw themselves over. And that's all I can say without giving away too much of the show, but I can say this. The quality of the show, which is already good to begin with, actually gets better and better, and even had some of the craziest badass moments, such as the ending to the show. Oh my god, what an ending, man, let me tell ya. But I won't tell you, because if you haven't seen my reviews in the past, I never spoil the damn show for ya, unless of course if it sucks that bad. The art and animation was provided by Tatsunoko Productions, and do I really need to say any more about that awesome company? The quality is pretty good, even holds up to today's standards. The Soyokaze's design is small and a little rustic looking compared to the other UPSF ships, but it looks like a ship I could totally be in. If it weren't for the fact that it gets hit by any other attack, the weapons go offline immediately. No, really, that happened a few times. Now, I can't go into details of the other characters because this review will drag on for longer than I want to, but I'll try to go for little quickies. The crew of the Soyokaze has variety to them. You have the basic military-looking characters like Tylor's second-in-command Yamamoto, who is very irritated with the captain's irresponsible attitude, as well as Lieutenant Yuriko Star, but you also have the Marine guys who look more like thuggish space pirates. They don't wear the UPSF uniform, some of them, like Cryburn, have like scars and rather antagonizing appearances in general. And they even have a guy with a hockey mask and chainsaw. I mean, come on! And his name's Jason too. I mean, really. Other Soyokaze crew members include Kitaguchi, an alcoholic surgeon who looks related to Dr. Robotnik. Seriously, Google image him, you'll see it. A sexy-looking nurse that the Marines all go over, a Bishonen-looking gynophobic pilot, and a couple of female twins that like to mess around with the gynophobic pilot. And that's just the Soyokaze crew. I haven't touched on the Railguns yet, but the Railguns, they are elvish in appearance, they wear Eastern clothing like turbans and such, and their ships are more organic in design. Their leader is Goza the 16th, aka Empress Azleen, a 16-year-old who's forced to take command after her parents are assassinated, supposedly by the UPSF. Now, the Railguns themselves aren't actually evil at all. I mean, you got a few douchebags, but you also have a few douchebags in the UPSF as well. However, there were points where I thought the Railguns or some of the members were gonna pull something, villainous in a predictable writing fashion. But it turns out they didn't, which was very surprising. So that's all I gotta say about the art style, character designs, and a little information about some of the characters. Let's actually talk about sound now. The music for Irresponsible Captain Tylor is 90s. Really, I don't know how else to describe it other than it's a soundtrack I want to buy on a CD. One particular track has like this build-up that sounds really dark and dramatic, then it gets to this optimistic beat and it always times well perfectly to the scene that it's playing to. Now, I think the best tracks for the show are the ones that offer excitement because it just pumps you up like crazy. And in one episode, they play the William Tell Overture finale in one of the most ballsiest, insane moments I've ever seen in a space anime ever. Again, watch it yourself if you want to know what I'm talking about, if you haven't seen it already. The dub was provided by TAJ Studios, which is a New York-based company, so expect voice actors that you may have heard from early episodes of Pokemon and Slayers to pop up. As I mentioned before, Crispin Freeman voices the main character Tylor, and I don't know how early this role was in his career. It might have been the first lead voice role he had, I'm not entirely too sure. But I like him as Tylor. He provides a more laid-back, optimistic role to the character. Stark contrast to his more serious characters he'll later voice in his life, like Alucard. And the rest of the voice cast, it ranges from good to, I'll get used to it. Lisa Ortiz, known as Lena Inverse from Slayers, voices both Azalin and the Hanner twins, another favorite voiceover of mine. And one of the voices that did bug me was Captain Domes, because he had a stoic, calm voice, which it does match the character. But there were times where I just couldn't hear him correctly, so I had to rewind the DVD and adjust the volume for clarity. Eventually, I did get used to it, and he did sound a little better later on in the show. Also, the opening and closing songs have been dubbed into English, and it's better to listen to it in Japanese. Whenever a song is dubbed before the mid-2000s, there's a slim chance it's on the same quality as the original. In order for it to be the same quality as the original, the singer herself will have to sing it in English, and perfect English, and it has been done before, like the Tenchi Universe theme. So that's my review of Irresponsible Captain Tylor. It is a very high recommendation. If you missed out on it, you still have a chance. There's a Nozomi re-release of all 26 episodes, and right now they're selling it for about $20, which is the version I have. They also have a Lightbox version, but that's more expensive for some reason. There's also a handful of bonus features for the DVDs, like liner notes that explain the process of dubbing certain moments and some bios on the characters and ship data. And the show is also available to watch on Nozomi's YouTube channel. I'm not sure how much of it is available though, but the first episode is there dubbed for you to check it. Seriously, after this review, watch the first episode, please. I enjoyed this anime from start to finish, and I already have the OVA series purchased, and I may review that as well. So that's all I have to say. Coming up next will be another 90s sci-fi anime that involves a battleship. Martian Successor Nadesico. This is Darkscream 217 signing out.